Hello there and welcome
to the new channel.
Here to help you see
the new you.
My name is Carmine Ortega.
Dennis Calamba.
This is Nato Agbayani.
My name is Juan Lu.
I'm Chino.
I'm Trisha.
This is Apple Manansala.
This is Attorney Carlo Ibanez.
This is Attorney Sheila Santiago.
This is Angie.
This is Orgamid.
My name is Dante Salama.
This is Jesse Francis Rebostillo.
I'm Dania Cunha.
Mon Mendoza.
I am Muppet Erhino.
I'm Leo Bryan. Mike.
Nice for beer.
Sir Al Ian Barcelona.
Marvin Salazar. This is Sunny Haldons.
Heidi Lumainos.
This is Ivan Jude.
Patrick Geronimo.
Alan Perez.
My name is Erwin Ursua.
My name is Bob.
My name is Lloyd Luna and this is
Future.
The Talk.
Family Business.
The Puppet Stories.
After Shift.
PNC Town Hall.
YOLO.
Marketplace.
The Home Buyer.
HR Hotline.
Danny Art Show.
Healthline.
Foreign Affairs.
COVID
Stories.
Awesome Day Show.
Thank you.
Money and More.
Cybernext.
Women at Work.
Win Within.
Port Project.
The Big Picture.
Sometimes life lets you down and you feel that you are done. You just want a morning run because the fun is all gone. Sometimes life makes you proud when you look far and wide, when you leave the pain behind and see the brighter side. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you. Sometimes life makes you blind and you choose something bad. You just wanna cry and hide and save your face from the crowd. But sometimes life makes you see the beauty in you and me. When you look up above, there is God and there is love. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new. We're here to help you see the newness of life. We're here to help you feel your hope is so real. You got the power to see. We'll help you see the new you. TNC gives you inspiration. TNC reignites your passion. TNC starts your transformation. TNC helps you see the new you.
The new channel. The new channel. The views, opinions, and insights expressed in the following show are those of the hosts, producers, guests, and viewers. They do not necessarily reflect the position of the channel. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone and welcome to the new channel. Here to help you see the new you. My name is Bob and this is the Fort Project. Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. Tonight, on a beautiful Saturday weekend, January 9, 2021. Again, welcome to January and welcome to the new year. And hope everybody's good, safe, and healthy. And again, you can like, follow, share this stream on the page, Facebook page, and we're simultaneously broadcasting or streaming live tonight from here and on Facebook. Also, you can check us out on Instagram, the new channel TNC, for different program hosts, different shows. You can check us out over there. And by the way, we're still going to be talking about money, business, and life, and especially with my guest later on. If you have any questions, insight, messages, you can join us right here tonight on the stream, on the comment section down below. And we're going to be pretty sure we're going to be doing some shout outs later on. So tonight's going to be fun. And I feel that we're on the second season now, that I think, aside from today, 3 more episodes and we're done for season 2. And gearing towards the end of season 2, we did talk about transitioning and, building a business and empire from season 1 up until today. But I feel like now, I feel like this is, I think, appropriate to be more brutally honest when it comes to being an entrepreneur, getting into business and transitioning that life from 9 to 5 to being your own boss. So it may not be for everyone, but we're gonna put the information out there, the wisdom out there, maybe the knowledge out there, and it's up to you guys. It's up to you guys if you're gonna use it or not. All right. So again, on the comment section down below, if you have some friends that you wanna, do some highs and hellos to, we're gonna do that later on. All right. So transitioning and the reality of business. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight with my very, very special guest. I'm pumped up with the energy of this guy all the way from Pasig, streaming live. But before we give you the guy, let me just give you a little bit of a background of information of who he is on the show. All right. So he is a bootstrapped startup veteran with a healthy dissatisfaction with a status quo. He is renowned for his maverick methods in business development, sales, and motivating others. Magnificent obsession is to enable progress for passionate professionals and business owners around the world. So please welcome on the show, ladies and gentlemen, Alex Pedron.
Wow, that was a great welcome, man. I love the TNC videos, by the way, in the beginning. Super awesome. We've got the New Year spirit. By the way, to all of our viewers, Happy New Year. Cheers to you. 2021, guarantee if we put out the right energy out there, it's going to be a great year. Thank you, Bob, for having me here. TNC and the Fort Project. Thank you.
Well, appreciate it, man, for doing this tonight. And it's nice to have you on board on the show tonight. Well, let's get it on. So the brief background of you is you're right. Actually born in the Philippines, raised in the States. Is that correct?
That is correct. Specifically, I was raised in New York, USA. So actually that already speaks volumes about my character. I think it was anywhere between 10 to 13 years ago, I moved back to the Philippines. I became an entrepreneur here. So actually, fun fact, later this year, September 2021, I'm looking to move back to the United States, going back to New York.
Is that going to be for good or just to visit?
Let's see. Maybe, I'm looking to stay there at least anywhere between 3 to 5 years.
Oh, okay. I see. All right. But okay. So born in the Philippines, raised in the States. Well, tell us about growing up in the States, the brown kid in the neighborhood.
It's crazy, man. It's a lot different from growing up in your own country where you're surrounded by like your own nationality, right? So growing up in the States, it's like a melting pot over there. There are different ethnicities, different nationalities, and you really had to adjust to a lot of people. So when I was growing up there and I was in school, I found it a little bit difficult to, basically what I'm trying to say, I was socially awkward. I was an introvert and I found it pretty difficult to talk to people, which is quite astounding now that I'm talking to you here in front of you. So I just had to really adjust to a lot of things. To be completely transparent, I had very little friends. There was a lot of bullying going on, and I was just pretty. Come to think about it, I was pretty lost. And it was just not too long ago where I had really achieved a vision for myself, which I hope we can expound more later on.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's most likely give it away right there. But okay, so growing up in the States and then you moved back to the Philippines 10, 15 years ago. You became an entrepreneur in the Philippines, not in the States. What did you do when you were in the States?
I went there at a very young age, man. So I'm 31 years old now. I actually grew up in the province here in the Philippines, and then my parents took me to the United States of America. I was like, I can't remember exactly. I was probably 8 years old. I was there until I was maybe 18 or a little over 18. And I went back here, and this is where I continued my studies and everything else. But in the United States, it was really just school and moving around, because I come from a broken family. So we were moving around a lot. I was switching schools a lot. And I was just really young in the United States, which is why I want to go back there later this year and be able to experience it with a better version of myself, really.
All right. Okay. Well, okay. So let's get into it. The juicy part of the interview. Yeah. I just cannot wait to be, again, like brutally honest to the viewers, to the listeners, and maybe people who's going to be watching the podcast on the replay. Okay. Okay. Let's start with this. What are the common myth of, I don't know if it's in general people or just Filipinos when it comes to being a businessman or an entrepreneur? What are the, I don't know, maybe top 3 common myth if you are a businessman?
All right, that's actually the first thing that comes to mind. But before I continue talking, I would like to invite some viewers to comment on this. If you have any questions, keep them with you. I'll answer them live, right? So you ready, Bob? Here we go. Top 3 myths. Are we debunking right now? Okay, top 3 myths is 9 to 5. Quitting the 9 to 5, right? Because let me tell you something. If you quit your 9 to 5, I guess, corporate job, that doesn't mean you work less. You are quitting your 9 to 5 for perhaps a 9 to 9. You end up working harder and longer. You end up bringing your work home with you. And, I'm not trying to say this is the case for all entrepreneurs, but this is what I experienced, and I'm here to, of course, share my experience. When I quit my 9 to 5, that didn't mean that I worked less. That didn't mean that my job was easier. Make no mistake, it's easier now because I've been an entrepreneur for quite some time. Right. But when I first started out, quitting that 9 to 5, you're not trading anything easier than that. That's the easy part, man. Quitting that 9 to 5 is the easy part. Once you actually do that, you end up, once again, working longer, taking your work home with you, and just go through all these emotions. You know how they say entrepreneurship is a roller coaster ride? It truly is a roller coaster ride. I've been an entrepreneur straight. Okay, take note. I've been an entrepreneur straight for going 5 years now. What is it? 2021, going 5 years now, right? But before that, I was on and off as an entrepreneur, right? So that's myth number 1. You actually work harder. You actually work longer. So myth number 2 is that a lot of people might think that entrepreneurship is the, I don't know, for lack of a better term, the cure or the solution to the rat race, the grind, or whatever you want to call it, right? It's not. It's not. It's just a different approach to whatever success means to you. Once again, entrepreneurship is not the solution to the rat race or the grind. It's just a different approach to whatever success means to you. Okay, so take note. I'm not actually using the words rat race as the end of the line, because once you become an entrepreneur, you're no longer in that grind. You're no longer a cog in the huge machine of the organization that you used to work for. You know,
Right.
you are now a human being, really, because you're going to experience a lot of pain, a lot of hurt, a lot of love, especially in the beginning. Entrepreneurship really will test your character.
Exactly.
So the third thing that I want to talk to you about, the third myth that I want to talk to you about is, should I quit my job for entrepreneurship? The answer is no. If you were to ask me, the answer is no. Okay. Why would I say that? It's because I have been through a lot of things, a lot of stuff as an entrepreneur. And some people are like, hey, Alex, how do I be you? How do I become you? And I'm like, yo, man, you don't want to be me. I've been through so much crap. I would not even wish it upon my worst enemy. You do not want to be me, right? But I say that because I want to gauge your commitment.
Exactly.
So if I tell you, like, yo, man, don't be an entrepreneur.
Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be an entrepreneur. And you're going to be like, okay, I'm not going to be an entrepreneur. Then you don't deserve to be an entrepreneur if at the first time someone throws a rock at you. Because people are going to throw a lot of rocks at you, bricks at you. Okay? Can I repeat that? Is that okay with you, Bob? A lot of people are going to throw rocks at you, bricks at you. And if you're affected by all the rocks and all the bricks, you're not going to get anywhere. You need that thick skin to be able to progress. And most of the time, it's not even other people that are hampering you down. Most of the time, it's you, man. Most of the time, it's you. It's your
Self-doubt.
mindset. It's your insecurity. It's your own struggles, your own inner demons that be like, yo, man, you can't do this. What the hell are you doing? Quitting your 9 to 5, getting rid of that 50 to 100K salary, getting rid of all the benefits and all that crap. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And if you can't tell yourself that, okay, no matter what anyone says, no matter what Alex is telling me right now, don't be an entrepreneur, bull crap.
Exactly.
I can do this. If you got that drive, then perhaps you could be an entrepreneur and not just be one, but also sustain it. Can I debunk one last myth before we move to the next part?
Sure.
So
Go
fourth myth,
ahead.
as a bonus, man, is becoming an entrepreneur, taking that leap. It's actually the easy part, believe me. But sustaining entrepreneurship is a little bit trickier. And we've got a comment here from Riz. Yes, it's hard to do duplication nowadays. Can you give us better strategies? Duplication, what do you mean, man? Can you be more specific? You mean like duplicating another person? Is that what you mean? I invite Riz to be more specific so I could answer better. But I guess in general, what I mean by what you might mean rather by trying to duplicate things, it's okay to duplicate something. You know what I mean? Like, for example, if you want to get into technology, you want to disrupt the mobile phone industry, right?
Mhm.
You can't actually do that. I mean, there are a lot of mobile phone companies out there right now, cellular companies out there right now, Apple, Samsung, to name two, who are really killing it out there. But how come we have new entries in the arena?
Right.
Like freaking Realme, Xiaomi, all these other entries that you might not know of, but they entered that arena. Okay. Just because you might think that a market is saturated, ask yourself this. If you haven't, just because you think it's saturated doesn't really mean that it's saturated because you haven't done it yet. You could be the next Steve Jobs.
Exactly.
You could be.
And
You
us
could be the next
entrepreneurs,
Steve Jobs.
entrepreneurs, we don't actually believe in saturation.
That's true. There's
Yep.
opportunity everywhere. Mindset. You know what I mean? But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. But Riz was like recruiting as downloads. Okay, to talk about that, man. Since this is part of Bob's podcast, right? The Fourth Project.
Right.
The more people you get working with you, in my opinion, the more people you get working with you, believing in your vision, the more people you influence, I think the more you can succeed. So what you can do, Riz, and for other people listening out there, it's the new year. So take a look at your goal. Take a look at your goal right now. And if your goal is something that you could do on your own, then you might consider that your goal is a little bit smaller than what it should be. Goals should involve other people. Goals should involve a community. That's how entrepreneurs develop into great speakers, develop into leaders, people like that. It's that they need people to get involved, or they get people involved in their goal, in their vision. So hopefully that answers your question from a general point of view so that everyone can relate, Riz.
Exactly. Wow, that is just the first part of the interview with Alex Pedron tonight, right here on the Ford Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. I like that how you say that you gotta go get people to working with you, not for you, because that's how MLMs and network marketings are actually working, or any other business. I think you gotta be like level-headed with the people that you are with, and that's exactly correct. Your business is not about you. It's bigger than you. It's way beyond bigger than you. And if you're helping more people in the business that you have, I think the more successful your business and you are going to be in the future.
Exactly.
And that's very powerful, very, very beautiful. But this time we're going to be pausing for my first break. So we're going to be talking about maybe the failures, the dark side of being in the entrepreneur world when we come back. So please do stick by. Thanks a lot. We're back right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and live tonight on TNC. And of course, this is the season 2, episode 15 of the podcast tonight. And speaking of which, we'd like to invite you guys to watch some of the other shows on this beautiful channel. Starting with Lloyd Luna's on. I think he's actually on season break. The Big Picture, and we have a whole lot from HR, from family business, from COVID stories, usapang beauties for, I guess, women and men and women. We have properties, buying, owning, and selling properties, or making it into a business. When within women at work, we have that right here. U-Turn is all about life stories, inspiring stories right here. We have different program hosts from different parts of the world, I guess. So, and we have the newest member of the TNT family, Mental Shift. All right, so it did premiere last week, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, a whole lot of program hosts and programs on the channel. So again, check us out on the Instagram account of TNC. All right, so we're back on the show tonight. Beautiful Saturday night in the Middle East. This is Saturday night weekend. This is the last day for the weekend right here in the Middle East, because Sunday is like the Monday here. Tomorrow is going to be the start of the work week. And for you guys, this is just the start of the week, especially back in the Metro Manila area, Saturday. All right, so here we go. January 9, 2021, back on the show, Alex Pedron. So, okay, we did talk about the not so beautiful part of getting into business, getting into an entrepreneur. What are some of the specifics that, okay, you said that your self-doubt, your family, sometimes your spouse, your wife, your girlfriend can be part of gagawin ko pa ba to? Am I gonna continue this, or am I just gonna go back to my
or what? Exactly. The thing about entrepreneurship, and you guys might want to write this down, is that it's also about asking yourself empowering questions. Because entrepreneurship, like what I talked about earlier before we went on break, is getting people involved, having big goals and getting people involved. Now, when you want to transition from employee to entrepreneur, you're going to want to ask yourself, who's involved? Because entrepreneurship, it's not just about you. Once again, entrepreneurship, it's not just about you. So who's involved in this transition? Obviously you. Who else? Do I have a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, family? Are they going to get involved? Do I have kids? Can my kids afford to get involved with this transition? And yes, I am scaring you because a lot of people don't take this into consideration. A lot of people with families end up quitting their 9 to 5 because I want to be an entrepreneur. And then maybe perhaps 6 months or a year in the entrepreneurial arena, end up quitting because although they still have the fuel to continue, their kids don't. Because maybe this new entrepreneur, this new CEO, president, or founder is like, okay, I just found out that I quit my 9 to 5 for a 9 to 9. So now I don't have time for my kids. Now I don't have time for my family, and they're suffering for it. So you need to take this into consideration if you're going to transition from that 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship, because I guarantee you got to put in that work at least for the first 3 to 5 years. Put in that work at least for the first 3 to 5 years. In fact, to give you a story, I actually didn't close my first sale, till after 9 months of being an entrepreneur. 9 months, man. I didn't close my first sale till after 9 months. So rewind to, I think it was middle of 2016, and I was working for a corporate. I was a collections agent. I was talking at a similar headset like this, man. Talking. And then one day I was on YouTube, and I was watching whatever video I was watching, and then an ad came up. So in the ad was this speaker talking to, might have been thousands of people. And this speaker was talking about like business, entrepreneurship, bouncing back from depression, overcoming adversity, and all of that. And I was like, you know what? I could do that. I could talk to thousands of people. I could talk in front of thousands of people about overcoming stress, overcoming adversity, depression, bouncing back from it, living your best life, becoming an entrepreneur, really transitioning into becoming an entrepreneur and taking ownership of that identity. And FYI, that speaker in that YouTube ad, he was Tony Robbins. So if y'all aren't familiar who Tony Robbins is, he's like the top 5 motivational speakers in the planet. So look him up. And I was, from that moment on, that's when I felt a calling. I felt oh man, I can't even describe it. That's why I actually got this tattooed. You guys probably can't see it, but it says Yugen, spelled as Y-U-G-E-N. It's actually a Japanese word, and what it means is a feeling or something that triggers a feeling within you that is too deep and mysterious for words. Even up till now, and I like to think I'm a very articulate guy, I cannot describe what I felt when I was watching Tony Robbins. And like his words in a freaking stupid YouTube ad moved me, man. It moved me. I'm like, I want that energy. I want to be like him. I want to be like Tony Robbins. Little did I know was that the entire journey of being that person, and then eventually I found out in the future that I didn't want to be Tony Robbins. I just wanted to be myself, but also motivate people in the process. So yeah, going back to the story, man, I was watching Tony Robbins, and he was my tipping point. So everyone who's an employee or a corporate person who wants to transition into entrepreneurship, y'all got that tipping point. If you haven't found that tipping point yet, don't even remotely think of being an entrepreneur. What am I talking about? That tipping point where, you know what? I'm tired of this crap.
Yeah.
Tired of this life. It's not even positive thinking. Bob, we're talking about the realities of entrepreneurship, right? I'm not even talking about positive thinking. I'm talking about literal disgust. Like, no, man. Ito na lang ba? The first Tagalog words in this podcast. And I wanted to make sure it was special. Ito na lang ba? Is this it? Is this cubicle lit? Is this, whatever's, around me? Is this it?
Yeah.
Ito na lang ba? Is that it? Once you get that tipping point, that level of exhaustion, and for me, that the reason why I use the word disgust is that's what I felt. I'm like, dude, you're nasty, man. I'm freaking cringy right now thinking about it. Living like that, paycheck to paycheck, no savings, always broke, not eating healthy, thinking about money the wrong way, surrounding yourself with stupid people, people who continue to bring you down. Filipino's crab mentality. I hope. I'm not sure if you get that in Dubai, bro, but over here it's crazy. Obviously, a lot. That's too bad, but we're here to change that. We're here to change that, Dubai. So, I felt that disgust. That was my tipping point. So, ask yourself, what's my tipping point? Am I already here? Am I just living in my tipping point, ready to pull the trigger and strike forward to entrepreneurship? Or perhaps you haven't reached your tipping point yet. Perhaps you're still enjoying partying every weekend. Perhaps you're still enjoying that, man. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not I'm not pointing out that that's a bad whatever, lifestyle. I'm not putting it in a bad light. It's just that what you're listening to is a brutally honest entrepreneurship advice. Right. You know what I mean? It puts you into proper perspective. So once again, perhaps you're, disclaimer, perhaps you're enjoying partying. Perhaps you're enjoying living life on the edge where spending, and then you end up with little to nothing, and you still got to pay your bills, you still got to feed yourself, feed your kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, whatever. You know what I mean? Maybe you're still in that phase. You can't. One thing I learned about entrepreneurship, you can spark it, but you can't force it. So hopefully, as Bob and I are talking right now, it sparks something within you. It plants a seed within you. And I promise you, if you continue to water that seed, nurture that seed, you will bloom into something beyond your wildest dreams. Never in my mind did I imagine, my man, that I would be speaking in front of a camera, talking about this right now, but here I am, right? So yeah, back at it. Maybe you're still in that mode, right?
Yep.
But if you're not, then you're for us. If you're not, then listen to this message. If you're not, if you're tired of that mode, listen to this message then.
If you're within that enjoying the weekends, it's maybe a sign that you're not ready yet to make the jump. Now I want to go back a little bit when you said that when do I quit? When do I start a business? When do I build my own empire? And that's very, very true. We don't actually advise for you to quit your job immediately. What we actually always say is start small. Always start small. You have a side hustle, sideline, or the grind on the side. The idea is while you're working 9 to 5, the idea is to grow and make an explosion on your side hustle. That when that time comes, you will actually leave the 9 to 5. That's the idea. That's why you're doing them both. All right. So you have 9 to 5. Okay. The usual thing that they say that full time on your work and part time on your fortune, and that's exactly what most people do. They started on this little sideline partnership hustle, whatever that is, and then eventually after maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you get a news that she nag-resign na pala. Bakit? Kasi he has his own company na pala. And that's what we say. And again, tonight, this is not to discourage you to be an entrepreneur or to make that jump or transition from being employed to business. This is setting your expectation. What can you expect if you tried to be an entrepreneur, to be in the business world? So I think this is really, really powerful message tonight with me and Alex tonight. And again, bro, nice to have you here on the show. Thank you for doing this. Really appreciate your time here. So, business. The myth is you have your own time, you have tons of money.
Should I jump ship right away?
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, should I jump ship right away? The answer is no. Bob is absolutely right. I think anyone in their right mind would not jump ship right away. I'm not saying that people who do jump ship fail. I'm not saying that people who burn the boat, quote unquote, burn the boat is like what most people like to say, fail. It's just different approaches. All right. One thing about entrepreneurship, doing business, is risk management.
Yep.
I'm going to repeat it. One thing about doing business is risk management. No one's asking you to quit your 9 to 5 right now.
That's right.
But what we are suggesting is to question that 9 to 5. Can I do more? Am I happy? Am I maximizing the 24 hours that I have in a day? What else can I do to earn? What else can I do to make my life more comfortable financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, even spiritually? A lot of times for most entrepreneurs or most employees, that means money. A lot of times that means money. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The way I think, the way Bob thinks, we don't think money is the root cause of evil. We do not think that money is the root cause of evil. People and how they use money is the root cause of all evil. Money is just energy. you think about it like that, you can attract it. If you make the right decisions, money will come. That's why you need to ask yourself a lot of questions. Entrepreneurship has a lot to do with critical thinking. Transitioning from employee to entrepreneur has a lot to do with critical thinking. I would love to give some sort of a framework or structure, if that's all right with you, Bob.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So, like, I mentioned entrepreneurship, doing business is risk management. So here is the path, I guess, of least resistance, right? I'm not saying the path of no resistance. Take note. All right. Huge difference. Path of no resistance versus least resistance. I'm talking about the path of least resistance. There is no path with no resistance. Mind you, no matter how much money you got, you could be a millionaire, start a business, and still fail. Just so you know. You could have investors, and still fail. Just so you know. So money isn't everything. All right. But this is everything. Your psychology of how you deal with the stress of entrepreneurship and everything else, how you manage to overcome adversity really helps determine your path to success. So going back to the structure is like building off what Bob mentioned earlier. He was like, we're not asking you to, literally quit your 9 to 5. That's not what transitioning from employee to entrepreneurship means. You could actually look up transitioning in the dictionary. It doesn't mean abrupt, like an abrupt stop. It doesn't mean biglaan hinto eh. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't transitioning literally doesn't mean that. You can Google it up right now. Transitioning doesn't mean that, right? It's slowly going into it. Like what Bob mentioned earlier, small steps, baby steps, going into it. All right. It really helps you with risk management. How? Because you get to test the market. Para sa akin ba talaga to?
That's right.
Okay. You get to test. Am I capable? All right. Mentally, emotionally, physically, can I actually do this? Because the moment you take that physical and also mental leap into transitioning or the small steps into entrepreneurship, onte-onte, you're going to start to experience a lot of turbulence. What do I mean by turbulence? Exhaustion, rejection, and also you're going to start to experience falling out or flaking out with certain people that are close to you. Like your family and friends.
That's right.
Kasi sa totoo lang, I guess I'm speaking from maybe Filipino culture. I can't speak from a global perspective, but here in Manila, most of the time, it's your family and friends that don't support you.
Why can't you just be everybody else? Yeah, nanay mo, tatay mo. Ba't di mo gayahin yung kuya mo? Ba't di mo gayahin yung ate mo?
Why don't you be a nurse or an engineer or whatever, man? Or a lawyer? Those are great jobs. But is that the job for you?
Yep.
Is it you? Is it you? So, entrepreneurship is the ultimate expression of yourself, the grittiest, sometimes even cruelest expression of yourself. You know the quote, I've been seeing a quote floating around on Facebook and Instagram lately. And the quote is actually about fitness, but it can relate, it can align to a lot of things. It's the quote, everybody wants to be a diamond, but no one is willing to get cut. Once again, everybody wants to be a diamond, but no one is willing to get cut. You know how much a value of a diamond is?
Right.
Little rock, huge, but no one is willing to go under the process. And no one is willing to take the process, internalize it, embrace it, love it, even if you're that crazy. Love that process and really just go through with it. No one, would like to do that nowadays. Nowadays, people are looking at get rich quick schemes or whatever they're calling it right now, Bob. And that's a lot. A lot of people aren't, calculating the risk to that. Get rich quick schemes. Doesn't that beg a lot of questions?
Right.
Okay, get rich quick. Exactly how quick, man? Exactly. What do I need to undergo? Yep. And if it's risk free, why aren't more people doing it?
Exactly.
If it's so easy, so simple, easy, quick, then how come my mom, my dad, my freaking uncle, grandmother isn't doing it? Right? Yep. So there's an underlying process to everything, and you're gonna wanna ask that. And transitioning those small steps is going from process 1 to process 2, small steps. Don't jump from process 1 to process 10 overnight. Because people can do that. People can be like, okay, I'm gonna choose to quit my job right now and then start a Facebook page of whatever company that I would like to start, and then tomorrow change my job description to freaking CEO. People are out there doing that, man.
Right.
People are actually out there doing that, and it may feel good, in the short term. You know what? Yeah, this is for me. Okay, I have fired my boss, and now I'm I am my own boss. I own my own time, right? But once again, how are you walking that walk? It's easy. All right, it's easy to just like quit, jump, and then friggin' be a CEO, be a president, be a founder. But from then on, how can you sustain it?
That's right. Very, very powerful words. Insightful tonight right here on the show. And I'm with you on that 100%. Transitioning is, that's what we call the process. When you say process, it's not instant. A process meaning it could be years, it could be a decade, but in the end, there's only one end result. It's for you to win. It's for you to be on top. All right. So another quick break this time. And of course, I don't think 60 minutes will be enough for this episode. So a quick break, and I'm going to be coming right back with a whole lot more of my guest right here on the Fort Project. And we're back. Thanks a lot right here on TNT, or the new channel, live tonight on the podcast, The Fort Project. Your host, by the way, my name is Bob. This is where we talk about money, business, and life. This very first month of this year, New Year 2021. Alex, before we get into the maybe the last part of the show, anyone would you like to say hi to tonight? We have a couple of people on the comment section down below. Jovita Tahardon, watching all the way from Vienna, Austria. Is she a friend or a family?
Austria, that's awesome. No, actually not at all. But I would like to thank and give a shout out to all the viewers that are watching right now. Hopefully our words, our energy can affect you in such a way where it moves you to create progress in your life. That's it right there. That's the shout out. All the people who are dying for change, all the people who are looking for hope, for relief. Hopefully the message that myself and Bob have right here, right now, will be able to plant that seed within you and spark something different, something great.
Also, hello to Riz Alvarez, by the way. That's the person who did ask you a question.
What's up, Riz?
Hey, what's up, buddy? All right. So, okay, if okay, Bob, Alex, you're saying all the nasty stuff about getting into business, transitioning. Why would someone, an individual, why would I do that? It's crazy. And yes, it is. So the question, Alex, tonight is why would someone who has a nice paying job, 9 to 5, living, I don't know, a little bit more than average, why would I do that to myself, to my kids, to my family? Why would I be broke and, for the next 5 years and struggling entrepreneur? Why would I do that?
Well, in one word, Bob, awesome question, by the way. In one word, though, satisfaction. Are you satisfied with, you're earning a lot, you're living pretty good, eating pretty good, your lifestyle quaint, nice, comfortable, but inside, are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled? Are you happy? I think entrepreneurship is like an expression that people want change in their life. People might want more control in their lives. As you know, if you're an employee, you got to see that in your company, you don't have a lot of control. But if you're an entrepreneur, everything is within your reach. Everything is within your control. And it's up to you to make the decisions for the culture of your company, the decisions for how successful you want to be as an entrepreneur, the decision to motivate yourself, inspire yourself, educate and train yourself. All of that is within your control. That's why, going back to what we were talking about earlier, Bob, like, okay, I want to quit my 9 to 5 and be an entrepreneur and end up working 9 to 9. I don't actually mind working 9 to 9 because I choose to work 9 to 9. If you're an employee, you're not choosing that 9 to 5 most of the time.
Right.
You're not choosing that 9 to 5. And perhaps what I'm suggesting is that control, more of it, gives people more fulfillment, satisfaction, happiness in life, man. It sure did for me, at least. I'm like, you know what? Okay, when I stopped being an employee, I'm like, okay, I could choose when to take my days off without letting anyone know. I could choose when to do this, do that. I could choose what to invest in, what not to invest in. The control is addicting.
Right.
Having all that control as an entrepreneur, it's addicting. And once you get a taste of it, a huge dose of entrepreneurship, it's difficult to transition, reverse, baliktarin natin from entrepreneur to employee. Extremely difficult. Okay. So that's why I talk about entrepreneurship as such, to be able to sustain it. Okay. It's more important to sustain that area or that part of your life, because once again, to transition that process, the baby steps, ultimately you reach a destination. All right. And most of the time it's relatively short. You just figure, what do I need to become an entrepreneur? How much savings do I need? Who is affected? Do I need to talk to them? Kailangan kong bang magpaalam sa kahit kanino? Whatever. And then you can become an entrepreneur. The next question is, okay, how do I sustain this for the next 3 to 5 years? The next 5 to 10 years? How do I achieve my legacy? How do I, all of these next questions in becoming an entrepreneur is just the tip of the iceberg, transitioning from employee to entrepreneur. And I talk about this with so much passion, with so much energy, because I love what I do. I love entrepreneurship. I didn't know I was gonna love it the way that I do now, because it was absolutely hell. It is absolutely hell sometimes. Yes, I go through a lot of bad days. In fact, I go through a lot of bad days, but I don't regret any of it because I made the decision. I take ownership and accountability. And once you realize that, and you begin taking the steps, you begin making the changes, the shifts in your mind, in your heart, like be like, hey, you know what? I'm a little tired of this. I'm not satisfied with the money I'm receiving right now. Maybe I actually don't need this much. What do I need? Question for everyone watching. How much does it take for you to be happy? Magkano? How much? Right? It's a good question to answer for yourself. And then whatever that amount is, be able to, work for that amount, earn it. But if that amount is relatively small and you're making such a there's like a huge margin with the amount that you need to be happy and the amount that you're receiving, and yet you're not happy with that, then something is very wrong. Yes, I said it. Something is very wrong. And that's absolutely okay. I'm not like, I'm calling you out on your BS, but this is the best thing that can happen, because what is in your control right now is you. What is in your control right now is you. When you ask these difficult yet empowering questions to yourself. What makes me happy? How much is it going to take? Am I satisfied with my corporate job right now? Can I do more with the 24 hours that I have? Is what I'm listening to right now a wake-up call? I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope it's a wake-up call for you to be like, you know what? I'm not exactly saying that your job, I'm not trying to say that your job sucks. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm asking you, suggesting to question it. Are you the happiest you could be? Are you the most satisfied that you could be? Can I earn more? Can I earn more? Can you earn more? I think anyone else can earn more, right? What do I need to be happy? How much will it take? Am I not earning at that level yet for me to be satisfied, or do I want to add a couple of zeros? Do I want my bank account to look like a phone number? And what do I need to do that? What side hustles do I need to do that? Right?
Exactly.
So start once again, Bob. I think the core message that you mentioned in the middle of the show. Funny that we should find it in the middle of the show, because actually Bob and I, for quick context, we were like, Bob and I was like, you know what? Let's just talk. Let's just have a conversation and free flow.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever you want, man. It's your show. And then what I feel like the underlying message, the core message right now is just start small, but start. Start small, but start at that side hustle. There's probably an unlimited amount of side hustles right now that are probably not risk-free. Be careful of the ones that are risk-free, but have very little risk. That all you need to do is exert yourself. Perhaps as much as you exert yourself over the weekend when you party or whatever it is that you do, man. Whatever it is that you do. All right? Just exert yourself more. Question, what does it take for me to be more satisfied or have a better income? All of that, man.
And if I may add, Alex, you mentioned risk management about business, and not just that. If you're an entrepreneur, your job is to solve a problem and just keep solving problems of you, your teammates, people around you, the business, the problem of the business of the other people that you're collaborating with. So that's constantly your job. And why would you want to be into the business world? Because let's face it, after 8, 5, 7, 10 years, it's really, really satisfying. And that freedom comes with the price that you need to pay, which is the 2 hour sleep, the being broke, being lonely, people around you are actually mocking you. What are you doing with your life? Hindi ka pinapag-nurse para magaganyan lang, things like that. So it's very, very rewarding in the end that most people around you, kahit kapitbahay mo, pwede mong bilhin yung pangarap niya when you're at that stage na you're successful. So that's, I mean, to me, that's the reason why I'm doing this. It's my fifth year, going sixth year. Also, I was invited into an opportunity back in 2014, and here I am. Both of us, Alex, right here. We're trying to spread the good news, and yeah, setting your expectation about business. It's not easy. It's not for everyone. And if you quit on the first sign of struggle, please do us a favor. Do not pursue success. You're only gonna get hurt in the process. So if you quit on the first sign of the struggle, no, this is not for you. Go back to your 9 to 5. So yeah, I guess that's it for us. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be back here on the third season, or maybe in some other platform that we can talk more about entrepreneurship. And if you can go back and you can like change everything or anything in the past, would you change anything in the past?
I would not. I would not change anything in the past. I think it was Drake, the rapper.
Right.
He said so. He has a quote. I can't exactly remember it, but I'm gonna paraphrase it for everyone. He goes, I would go back to the past, not to change anything, but to feel some things twice. So once again, Drake was like, and I'm paraphrasing, I would go back to the past, not to change anything, but to feel some things twice. Now, for everyone who's been listening since the last hour or so, I talked about the tipping point in entrepreneurship, where you're absolutely exhausted and disgusted with your surroundings. And you're like, you know what? I'm tired. I'm done. I want change. And I'm just going to make that physical and mental leap. I would love to have felt that again, that tipping point. I would love to have felt that tipping point again, where I was just tired. I was just disgusted with everything that was going on in my life. Because at that point, that's when I took back control. Remember, I talked about entrepreneurship and control, and having that much control again in my life is probably an irreplaceable feeling. It's probably Yugen, what I talked about earlier. I can't describe it, but
Right.
you'll know when it's there. You'll know when it's there. I promise you.
I want to
That's it,
throw
guys.
this one really quick before we actually end up the episode tonight. That when you say success or successful, being successful, it may vary from person to person. But to us entrepreneurs, the main reason why we're doing this is you're right, to regain control and take full responsibility of our lives. Now, this is just me. I don't know if Alex would agree with me, but somehow when you say success, when you say Bob, Alex, John, or Jason is now successful, somehow it's actually somehow parallel to the money, the earnings. Because when you say successful, you need to be able to put food on the table, to put your kids in school, to provide for your spouse, the family, the household, and maybe the extended family, as we are in the Filipino culture. So to me, I guess when you say successful, how can you be si Edgar successful na, pero walang kuryente sa bahay nila, hindi nakakabayad ng Meralco. How can you?
Not sure that's success, but
Alex, your 2 cents.
Okay, guys. When you become an entrepreneur, especially when you transition from employee to entrepreneur, and then so you're an entrepreneur now, right? One of your first key metrics will be finance, obviously. That's why because you want to be sustainable.
Your cash flow.
You want your cash flow to be sustainable, and you want to not worry about it, make it your secondary income or what have you, right?
Yeah.
So once again, we talked about this earlier, Bob. It's about the relationship that you have with money. So, like when you transition employee to entrepreneur, and you take the mindset of an employee into entrepreneurship, that's trouble. That is so much trouble. Like, for example, and for lack of a better term, but the reality of it, just saying, all right?
Right.
Employees are like living from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, blah, blah, blah. And it's difficult for them to save up. Too many expenses, not making enough, or making too much, not knowing what to do with it. Then, perhaps you may want to gauge that because if you bring that mindset into entrepreneurship, you're done, man. I mean, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult because once again, one of the first key metrics that you will have when you become an entrepreneur, sales, money.
100%.
Up till now, one of my metrics for success is sales. How much money did I earn? How much money was I able to shell out to charity or to the movements that I support? How much finances was I able to shell out for vacation and still have some to pay the bills and for savings in my bank account? All right, finances plays such a huge game in entrepreneurship, and there's actually so much that you could take in terms of financial education in a platform that's as simple as YouTube. You can like go on YouTube and like research how to be wealthy, I guess, and countless videos would spring up telling you from different perspectives, different people, how to be wealthy in a monetary sense. I think that people who think money is not part of success, I think people who think that money is something that is evil or something that is not for them, then you may want to question that. You may want to question your beliefs around money, because you can't be like, hey, yo, Bob, money is the root cause of all evil. I don't care what you and Alex says. And at the same time, be like, man, after COVID-19, I want to travel to USA. I want to travel to Japan. I want to travel around the world in style. I want to stay in 5-star hotels. I want a BMW. What do you think is needed to get all of that? You need money. You need money, right? So you see that there's a conflict in the language and in the belief,
right?
Where you're like, you're saying you don't want money, but internally you're yearning for it. I need this. And if you're in a position of need or lack coming from law of attraction, cosmic, if you guys believe in that, then it's going to be difficult. You're going to live a very difficult life as an entrepreneur. If you pull it off somehow, let Bob and I know. Hopefully we can invite you here, tell us how you did it. But so far, within my network or circle of champions, of entrepreneurs, I know no one who's like, yo, man, money is bad for you. Money is evil for you. Don't pursue money. Can I extend a little bit? Have a ridiculous goal with money. It's okay. It's okay to have a ridiculous goal with money, especially if you're just transitioning from employee to entrepreneur. Let's say you just transition and you're like, all right, man, I'm just gonna, you know what? Why don't I just put it out there, out in the universe? Be like, okay, I want my sales target to be $250,000 this month. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to achieve that, but let me just put it out there. Because whatever it is you think, in some part of the universe, that is coming to reality. If you can think it, it'll come to existence as long as you align yourself to it. And the last thing that I'm going to tell you, as an entrepreneur, you're always out there hustling, grinding, right? So you're like, I did what Bob and Alex suggested. All right, so I'm in the process now. I'm an entrepreneur now. Made the physical and mental leap. Don't just hustle. Don't just grind. Go for alignment. You could be grinding and hustling for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Like what I mentioned earlier. Money is the root cause of all evil, but I want to travel the world in style. You can't keep hustling with that mindset and expect to achieve the results that you set out for you. Align yourself. Go for alignment over hustling and grinding. Hope that helps, guys.
And me and Alex here tonight, we're just keeping it real. If you want to travel in style, yes, you need your finances checked and you need money. And yeah, keeping it real right here tonight. Well, again, bro, thank you so much for doing the episode with me tonight. It's a pleasure for you to have you here on the show. And yeah, finally, before we let you go, if people wanted to get in touch with you, they want to answer. They want to get some questions answered from your end. Yes, go ahead, please. Where they can actually reach you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Bob. Everyone can actually reach me on Instagram. I'm more active on Instagram. My Facebook is solely for business and commenting memes to my fiance. That's all I use Facebook for. But I'm more active on Instagram. You can actually reach me here at AEJR Pedron. That's PEDRON on IG. Whatever questions that you have about entrepreneurship or transitioning from employee to entrepreneur, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I love you. I appreciate you. So yeah, hope your 2021 will be absolutely amazing for you.
All right. And by the way, Alex also have this podcast. You can plug that in right here. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, actually, my fiance and I have a podcast. It's Pandemic Born. So for just a fun piece of trivia, my fiance and I met on an online dating platform. And when we met, she was like, "You sound good." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Thank you. Why don't we start a podcast?" And of course, to be in full support, yeah, why don't we start a podcast? I love building businesses. So I built the entire structure and she built the overall theme of it. And if you'd like to hear more, you could go to Stories After Swipe Right. And so on Facebook, or you could actually visit our website. It's podcast.storiesafterswiperight.com. What we really talk about there is healthier dating and more intimate relationships. Thank you for that, Bob. Appreciate it, man.
All right, there you go. And brother, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. And hopefully I'll hear from you soon. And stay safe. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Episode 15 of season 2 right here on the Fort Project, where we talk about money, business, and life. And of course, thank you. By the way, I'd like to say my last shout outs to M. Villanueva. Hello to you. Thanks a lot for being here on the show. Also, hi to Alvin Michael Buanghug. Hey, Team Domination, front row represent. Hey to you, buddy. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot for Ian or Ian Barcelona, one of the program hosts of Great Day right here on TNC. And by the way, this has been your host, Bob. And of course, this program is being brought us by Puzzle Box BPO, sponsored by the Manila Times, Step Back, Philippine Association of Professional Speakers. And this has been your host, Bob, right here on the Fort Project, live tonight on TNC. Until next time, good night.